Hello there. What do you think these three people have in common? Linda Ikeji, Kemi Oluloyo, and Daddy Freeze. They are all influential. Now, what do you think these other three have in common? Jason Njoku, Sim Shagaya, and Akin Alabi. They are also influential. But the difference between the second set of people I mentioned now and the first set is that while the first set are just influential and popular, the second set, they are both influential and popular and also thought leaders. Which brings me to the crux of my conversation with you today. Who really is a thought leader? My name is Anthony Nyemowa, or you may call me Kimba, and today I'll be talking to us about the DNA of a thought leader. Who is a thought leader? A thought leader is any person whose views are considered to be respected, influential, tested and trusted, authoritative, and original. So, if you are a thought leader, your views and opinions, they are respected. People respect them, followers respect them. They are influential. When you say something, it influences people. They are tested and trusted. That means people have tested what you have produced and said over the years, and it has worked for them. So you are tested and trusted. Then your views are also authoritative. Why? Because you have shown with a track record, either from personal track record or track record of people who have consistently implemented your views and have gotten results. And then your views are also original. Your views are not a regurgitation of someone else's views. They are unique, they are original, they are authentic. So, I mentioned three people earlier, and I'll give you examples. I mentioned Kemi Oluloyo, I mentioned Linda Ikeji, and I mentioned Daddy Freeze. Now, Daddy Freeze, Linda Ikeji, and Kemi Oluloyo are very influential people. Why? Because, number one, for Daddy Freeze, he speaks on topics that people find very contentious. And because he's speaking on a topic where people find themselves mostly on the fence regarding the issue of tithes or no tithes and the flamboyance of religious leaders and what have you, it is very, very likely that he would have a following and a listenership. But can you say that Daddy Freeze has acted on anything he has been saying and has gotten a result that he can show? Or that anybody who has been following him over the years, who have refused to pay tithes, can say, because I have stopped paying tithes, I have begun to achieve this, or because I've stopped following this religious leader, I have begun to achieve this? I don't think anybody can say that. Now, coming to Kemi Oluloyo. Kemi Oluloyo is a blogger, is a journalist, is what have you. But let me ask you, if you were to see a news information on Kemi Oluloyo's blog or handle, and you were to see a news information that is similar to that but a little bit different on CNN, which will you trust? Now, the fact that you trust CNN's information over Kemi Oluloyo's information basically shows that Kemi Oluloyo's information does not have the authority that I mentioned before. Remember, I said it must be respected, must be influential, must be tested and trusted, must be have authority, must be authoritative, and must be original. So, number one, her views are not necessarily original. Number two, her views are not tested and trusted. Number three, her views are not authoritative. However, her views are influential. So, because her views are influential, that is why she has a large followership. So she can only be called an influencer or an influential journalist, not a thought leader. Now, coming to Linda Ikeji. Linda Ikeji has a blog and has other similar stuff that basically provide information. Now, the information may be tested and trusted or not, but do people act on what she says or her information to get results? Do people consider her an authority who has over time tested and has been proven to get results from the things she does? No, she's basically just a medium that provides information. So because of that, she is influential. Because of that, she has a following. but you can't call her a thought leader. But these other three on the other end, Jason Njoku founded iRock TV before he sold it off to Canal Plus. Sim Shagaya, my former employer, founded Konga. Before he founded Konga, he had another e-commerce business. So he had that e-commerce business, then he founded Konga. Then after the acquisition of Konga, he's founded other businesses, and as such, he's an authority. So while these other people are just influential, Sim Shagaya has tested and proven results in entrepreneurship. Therefore, when he speaks on entrepreneurship, if you are an entrepreneur, you are bound to listen and take notes. Same thing applies to Jason Njoku. Aki Alabi, on the other end, founded Nigeria's first modern sports betting company. That is NairaBet. Until today, NairaBet is among the top 3 sport betting companies in Nigeria. That was even before he moved into politics, and he's still doing well. So because of that, he's a thought leader. Now, make no mistake, these guys are not just thought leaders because they have successful businesses. There are many successful business owners in Nigeria. They are thought leaders because not only do they have successful businesses, they have been able to take their time to come on media outlets, both social media and digital media, to share their experiences, to create platforms where people can actually learn from them, where people can see what they have done, see their failures, see their successes, and try to replicate their successes. Now, that makes them thought leaders. Why? Because their opinions on their respective fields are, number one, they are respected. Number two, they are influential because people have tried to replicate their successes and succeeded at doing that. Number two, they are aside being respected and being influential, they have been tested and trusted. Tested and trusted means that you can see evidence of what they have done. And mind you, talking about being tested and trusted and having authority, it's about having a track record. And this track record can be two. It can be your personal track record, what you have achieved for yourself, which these 3 people have achieved for themselves, or track record of what people who follow them have been able to do based on what they have been preaching and how successful they have been. That makes up track record. So if you look at it from that perspective, these guys have a track record that qualified them to be thought leaders. I also talk about influential. Now, when you are influential talks about you being able to influence people's perceptions and opinions, and 2, you being able to influence people's action. Most influencers and influential bloggers are only able to influence perception, but they are not able to influence action. So, Linda Ikeji writes about something, it influences your perception. Kemuleo writes about something, it influences your perception. Daddy Free says something, it influences your perception. But does it really influence your action? I know a lot of people who have been influenced by what Daddy Free preaches about tithe, but choose to pay their tithe nonetheless. So, yes, their perception has been influenced, but they still act the way they do. Many people read stories from Linda Ikeji's blog and from Kemulo's blog. Their perceptions are influenced, but their action remains the same. So, if you must be a thought leader, number one, just like Jason Njoku, just like Sim Shagaya, just like Aki Alabi, number one, your views must be respected. Number two, they must influence not only perceptions and opinions, they must also influence action. Number three, your views must be tested and trusted. So, what you are telling people about, do you have a track record of having done it and failed and succeeded at it? Because if you have not, your story cannot be authentic. Your views cannot be authentic. They cannot be true because you don't have anything to show that you have done it. It has to be empirical. It has to have been proven and tested. So your views have to be respected. They have to be influential, influence perception and action. They have to be tested and trusted. They have to be authoritative, and then they have to be original. It can't be someone else's view. And more importantly, remember, thought leadership is about 2 words: thought and leadership. So leadership in this sense means that when you say something, people act on it. So if you are a thought leader, people must act on what you say. So If you have views and people only hear them and smile and talk about it and never act on it, you are only influential. You are not a thought leader. But when you have views that people listen to and they are influenced by it and they act on it, now then you know that you are a thought leader. I hope I've made some sense today. And the next video, I'll be talking to us about how you can measure thought leadership. So if you want to be a thought leader, how can you measure whether your thought leadership tactic, strategy is working or not? What metrics should you use to measure your thought leadership strategy? Till I come your way again, I remain Ikemba.